Hey guys, some gamer dude here. So yesterday I was talking about Perfect Riser and all the little problems he's got and how we can, how that deck will play out and how it's stonewalled. And honestly, Perfect Riser doesn't have enough pressure because nothing else uses Counterblast. You're not really hurting for it. It's like, okay, unflip it, I'm gonna probably hurt you for 2 anyway. It doesn't matter. So today we got that last grade 2 that I was talking about. And we also got Dragonic Waterfall, which we'll talk about in a second. But let's talk about Burstraizer first. He's our last grade 2. He's a grade 2, 9,000, 5,000 shield. Okay. Automatic on Regard. When the Vanguard attacks, you play Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1. Stand this unit. If the number of cards in your opponent's damage zone is more, this unit gains plus 3,000 for the turn. So it forces a, let's say Riser Customs behind him is probably what I'd want to put there anyway. It forces him up to a nice 20,000, which is equivalent of 18,000. It's 10,000 shield to block. But it's got another little set of circumstances that I think are rather interesting. So it gives not only Nova Grappler another attack to go with. It not only does that, but it gives that increase of pressure on the second swing. But not only that, because it requires Counterblast, it means you're using 3 a turn with Perfect Riser for maximum efficiency. Now Perfect Riser's pressure starts meaning something. It's like, okay, if that goes through and you unflip damage, you're going to do this 7 attack turn again. Because it's 7 attacks now. That's a hell of a lot of pressure. And if you heal out of it and can take it again, it's 7 attacks again. But this more secures it. And it pushes something up shield value, which is also very good. I think this is where the deck starts coming together. This is the shot in the arm it needed. I honestly don't know why now High-Powered Riser Custom was a double rare. This honestly seems more valuable to me. It and a Riser Custom are the staples of any of these standing Nova Grappler decks to me. Even if you have to swing the first attack from him into a Regard, because it's still going to be 17. That's still going to be 2 shields against 2 shield levels against a grade 2, so it's a 10,000 shield to stop. You're going after an Interceptor. If they block it, they're going to be spending more shielding total, not more cards, but more shield total to block it. This is going to be what cements this deck together. I think this now allows Risers in particular, Risers more than a Surikaiser, but Risers definitely that use of front triggers. You don't really mind going balls in now because the amount of force being pushed through. You also don't mind attacking with all the columns first, then the Vanguard, then all the Regard columns stand up. It's really amazing. I honestly think this is where Risers, they should have shown this much earlier. This brings the deck together. A lot of people are putting a lot of importance on Silent Tom at the moment, but in my opinion, this is the closest Risers and honestly Nova Grappler have to Silent Tom in terms of bringing the deck together. It's just, what's not to like? I will probably, because I'll be printing this deck out for a friend to try out, I'll give you a little report on how this one goes through. It's an interesting deck. I do need to see the triggers first, though, to see where things play out, because honestly, gonna be really frank, we need to see if they get 1 front trigger or 2 front triggers. I think there's an excuse for 2 front triggers, to be honest, now that Perfect Riser's got so much pressure in that swing. Honestly, don't know what the last grade 2 would be, because you really only need Iron Killer and High-Powered Riser, Burstraizer. But we'll see. There's still Boomerang Thrower, which is, it's a thing, and it can help unflip damage, and bring you back the soul that you're spending, which is, it's nifty. It's a nifty little card. So we'll see how things go. I'm looking forward to it. So let's talk about Dragonic Waterfall. This one's, I was betting on Kagero, the Dragonic Overlord deck, being a nice budget deck. Something cheap, it was gimmicky, but it could swing the game in one go. Then, let's be honest, Dragonic Waterfall is a really good finisher for it. And I will say this straight out, because of the way it's constructed as a card, the way it's designed, you really only need 2 in the deck. If your budget is really constrained, 2 is all the absolute maximum I think you need. You would want to run 4. There's nothing better to run. Really, in that, what else are you going to run in that? Vortex Dragon? You're not running Vortex Dragon. But, well, not if you're not budget conscious. If you're budget conscious, you probably would. But Dragonic Waterfall, yeah. It's just a finisher. So, when it's placed on Vanguard, you choose one of your opponent's grade 2 or greater rearguards and retire it, so you destroy one of the front row, probably an interceptor. When it attacks, Soul Blast 1, grade 3 from your soul. So yes, you want to ride the Slater. It gets plus 10,000 plus critical, and your opponent cannot call Sentinels to the Guardian Circle. Now, the Protect gift does have the Sentinel ability, so yes, your opponent cannot call Sentinels. Protect gifts stop this. This is made to get through Protect clans, and it's going to be quite strong. It implies that you're putting a lot of power on the Vanguard Circle. So does Dragonic Overlord, actually. Dragonic Overlord, you'd want to put the force marker on the Vanguard to make it easier to smack through. You probably want to ride 2 times just to start before Dragonic Waterfall to help push things through. It's probably going to win the game, to be honest, at a certain point. At least versus Excel clans, and probably other Force clans. Protect clans, I'm not so sure. Yes, it's made to get around them, but Protect clans can just go, oh, perfect guard the Vanguard every time I can, because I'm getting the gifts all the time, so the Vanguard attacking is not a big issue. I'll use the other shielding against everything else, and I'll hold back the 20,000 shields. You only need 3 heal triggers, or honestly 2 heals and 2 offensive triggers, so criticals, to make this either 2 to pass or no pass. And then just perfect guard anything else that gets the triggers. I think it's a good finisher, don't get me wrong. But it is not as overpowered as people are making it out to be. The numbers just simply aren't there. You'd need to just ride upon ride upon ride and basically just exhaust everything to force the Vanguard Circle up so high. It's just not happening. I'm sorry, it's not happening. But that doesn't make it a bad card. If you play your guns right, it's going to do something at least against the other 2 types, which is probably where things should naturally be. As I've said since the beginning of this era, I do strongly believe that there is a rock, paper, scissors with the 3 imaginary gifts, and this honestly feeds into that. Everything we've seen feeds into this idea. Anyway, I think both are good cards. I will probably start working on Nova Grappler decks and very soon. As soon as Oracle Think Tank gets Silent Tom, I'll start working on it. But this has been Some Gamer Dude, and I'll see you guys next video.